How has Stros M'kai fared under its new Imperial masters?
The locals are still chafing at the bit, but in time, they will come to appreciate the benefits of membership in the Empire.
That's so, The Empire has done well in its conquest of Hammerfell, you think?
Absolutely. No offense, but Hammerfell is in need of some law and order.
Thank you, my boy. My name is Avik. How can I help you?
How has Stros M'kai fared under Imperial rule?
Things have gone to pot and I don't care who knows it. Murder in the streets? Where will it end? Tell me that. Where will it end?
Imperial troops have murdered people in Stros M'kai?
When they came ashore, it was fire and sword in the old quarter. At least, then they could pretend they were fighting the crown diehard. But killing that innocent Yokudan boy, if I was 20 years younger, I'd make someone pay.
Is the old quarter completely destroyed?
Might as well be. It was sealed off while the Imperials searched every house for crown loyalists. Nothing but a ghost town now.
Welcome to Jafers.
Hail, Desert Walker. I am Cyrus.
Jafer is at your service.
Stros M'kai seems quiet, almost deserted. Has the Imperial occupation been so harsh?
Tiber Septim has many clansmen of lesser repute than he. The city of the Redguard suffers under one of the least of these. Provisional Governor Richten.
Tiber Septim's reputation seems to depend on who you ask.
True, and the Redguards have long memories, as the statue in the harbor attests. History loves an empire builder, though. Jafer cannot yet say who will write Septim's epitaph.
Is there any way to gain an audience with the governor?
Proclaiming yourself a crown might work, but more likely will lead to a speedy death. Few besides forebears have access to the palace.
Is it so dangerous to be a crown these days?
Jafer's interests lie more in the past than with the current upheavals, but even Jafer can see that the city has been cleansed of dissidents. Yet soldiers continue to scour the island. To what end?
Do you have any idea what the Imperials are looking for?
Jafer sent 4 copies of Dwarven lore to the palace last week. It may be no coincidence that Stros M'kai, with the largest Dwarven ruins in the Windward Lands, has received particular attention from the mighty Tiber Septim's clansmen.
Dwarven ruins? I'm intrigued.
As well you should be. An amazing sight, full of the inexplicable work of that vanished people. No longer open for visitors. However, the Imperials have sealed the ancient gates for reasons known only to our honorable governor.
Ever heard of a group called the Restless League?
Some say pirates, some say rebels. Jafer knows too little to judge. Rumor calls them secret allies of the late prince. Whether they survived the crown's defeat, Jafer cannot say.
Windward Lands? I'm not familiar with that term.
My apologies. Jafer almost forgot he spoke to the unclawed. The coastlands of Tamriel, to the northwest of our desert homeland. Mighty Tiber Septim bids fair to become clan mother to them all, Hammerfell included.
I was surprised to see Hunding's statue still standing, national treasure or not.
Doubtless our esteemed governor has reasons aside from Redguard's sentiment. Lord Richten has shown indifference to such niceties in other matters. Witness the fate of the old quarter.
The old quarter? What happened there?
In his excessive zeal to root out his clan's enemies, Richten put it to the torch. A silent history of Hammerfell, wrought in stone and wood, now ashes. The Redguards speak of dragonfire in the night, but Jafar remained indoors, and so saw nothing.
Charmed. I haven't been in Hammerfell since before the war. How do you like being a citizen of the Empire?
Sure beats war, my young friend. I won't lie to you, though. Hard to find honest labor these days. Forebears would rather smirk than lift, and the crowns don't have the back for it anymore.
Sounds like the crowns are taking their defeat pretty hard.
Yeah, I've always stayed out of politics. Bad for business. Crown, forebear, I don't care. As long as their coin is true. My philosophy is, what's done is done. Live and let live. The grass is always greener, you know?
I guess the forebears are still savoring victory in the Civil War, eh?
Yeah, you could say that, although you might not want to say it in their faces. They're a touchy lot these days.
I've been up north for years, but I was pretty sure the forebears won the war.
Of course they did. And the forebears like to bust up the dragon tail just in case anyone doubts it. Some ungenerous crowns like to point out the Imperial flags flying all over the palace, and the Imperial soldiers patrolling the streets. None of my concern, though, haha, you know what I mean?
We'll talk later. Greetings, my lady. I am Cyrus.
A sentinel accent, isn't it? I am Cassandra, silversmith of Stros M'kai. Pleased to meet you.
How has Stros M'kai fared under Imperial occupation?
It's suffered greatly. The incident in the old quarter seems to have left the city in shock. The crowns lost the war, after all. You can't expect them to get over that in a few months.
Do you know what happened?
It was before I arrived. The people here tell some pretty fantastic stories. As near as I can figure, the crowns burned their houses down around their heads rather than surrender after the Imperials took the city. Some would call that admirable, but I think the Redguards put too much stock in zealotry.
If I see the fellow, I'll tell him.
And as for what keeps me in Stros M'kai with the Empire and Richten and all, well, I've lived here a long time, got friends and roots here. And Stros M'kai has deep roots, ancient history. There's the real mystery.
The real mystery? I've heard too many already.
The ruins in the mountain. Dwarves, sailor, long dead. An ancient technological treasure trove. Empires searching the world for such knowledge. They may have found it here.
What does the Empire hope to find there?
Power! Before you know it, we'll have steam-driven carriages and flying machines. Whole empire's interested in them dwarves for some reason. Sure, Prince of Tor, Arcade, bless his soul, might have said they were dangerous and we should leave dead civilizations be, but hell, man, there's progress to be made.
Flying machines, are you okay?
You just wait. Those dwarves made up for their lack of magic another way. Magic is the crutch of the world. Why build a better bridge when a mage can teleport you to the other side? Things have been the same for thousands of years and it's gonna end soon.
Steam-driven carriages, huh?
That's right. Dwarves knew how to use the steam. You may laugh, but it's a powerful force, and Richten's got his boys looking at it right now. Empire may have what they need to conquer all of Tamriel sooner than you think.
If there's anything you'd like to buy, just let me know.
What kind of town is Stros M'kai?
I'm too busy studying to pay it much mind. Plus, with the Empire here, the streets feel kind of dangerous.
So you never leave the guild?
If you want to know the truth, wide open spaces kind of make me nervous. Many wood elves are like that, you know.
They miss the canopy of the Valenwood trees.
Our second sky, the middle green. Let's just say I don't wander around in Stros M'kai enough to know that much about it.
Has the Empire interfered with the Mages Guild yet?
Of that I am not at liberty to say. Let's just say Archmage Jagenbeer is trying to stay on their good side. He's got his greedy eyes on the battle spire.
What brought you to Stros M'kai?
War and the rumors of war. Every merchant that's near and seaworthy has come to Stros M'kai in the wake of recent events. Either in the service of the provisional governor or to fill the sea lines that Septim has shattered, and that the crowns can run no more. I thought I might profit from a visit, but it has brought naught but sorrow and the sign of darker days. I fear I shall be leaving none too soon.
Imperial expansion has been feared for years. Why wasn't Hammerfell better prepared?
Factional squabbles, divided councils, miscalculations. Crowns lost heart when they lost the capital. Forebears lost their heads completely when they welcomed the Empire's friendship and aid.
So the Empire played the forebears pretty well, eh?
What else is a visionary with an open invitation to do? The forebears are having futile second thoughts now, no doubt. Probably why they're so bitter and driven to bar brawls.
I see the harbor is already arrayed in the flags of the Emperor, and that his men walk the streets as if born to them.
Stros M'kai's a dangerous port these days. There's an empire to be built, you know, and Tiber Septim shows no sign of slowing its increase from here to the edge of the world map. High Rock's border kings bent knee to the Cyrodiil long ago. Even my father's fair Skyrim is adorned with flags of red dragons and foreign men. We are entering a new era, I fear, with Septim's name written long and wide upon it.
Any kind words for our new Emperor?
He is good at what he does, and sees the holes lesser men leave wide. No offense to your Prince Ator, of course.
Hammerfell's problems are her own. I was only asking if Septim was the tyrant they say.
Of course he is. Tyranny means never having to say you're sorry. But Izara's fate has nothing to do with the Emperor, I'm sure. Look to the provisional governor if you suspect Imperial entanglements. He's the real tyrant around here. Septim's no Cyrodiil from what I've heard, though he ruled their remnants and rebuilt their empire. He's something worse, or greater, depending on your disposition to the center, son.
If he has no blood tie to the Cyrodiil throne, then how did he make it his?
Come on! For the last 400 years, the petty kings of Cyrodiil have been squabbling over the title of Emperor, all claiming forebearance. Imperial throne's blood's thinner than a sea dream and half as wet. Tiber Septim took the throne as he took your people's.
Hail the new conqueror.
There's a good little subject.
You used to hire out to those petty kings, did you not?
20 years ago, maybe, when the whole heart of Tamriel was in chaos. I can admire Tiber Septim insofar that he has managed to consolidate the rags and tatters that bickered there then.
No empire is a good thing, Captain.
There's a Redguard for you.
So the Nord kings have submitted to Tiber Septim too.
They do not worry over much. They have outlasted empires before, and this conquest will be no different. Hammerfell has been the bloodiest invasion of current record, and by comparison, Skyrim's occupation seemed like a ballet.
How have the forebears fared under Septim's rule?
The throne of Sentinel is kept warm by another Imperial governor. That should be indication enough.
What were the terms of the forebear truce?
Originally, the Empire was to lend its armies to the forebear cause in return for a swath of holding titles along the southeast border. But when Baron Volag disappeared during the arse end of the war, all bets were off. A new treaty was formed, which garrisoned those Imperial armies in the cities.
Until such a time as the native rulership can see fit to reinstate itself safely on its rightful throne.
Something like that, yes, sir.
Is this your first visit to Stros M'kai, Cyrus?
Aye, but the occupation makes it seem less so. With the Imperial standards aloft at port, it seems like any other vassal town of Cyrodiil.
But for the unrest of like blood?
The only blood I care about is my sister's. As far as I'm concerned, new kingless Hammerfell has gone its way.
Your apathy is decidedly reptilian.
I don't know how to take that coming from you. What are you talking about?
This tavern, of course, both site and subsidy of my studies, as well as a fine storehouse of spirits.
What's your subject of study?
The other, of course. Those ones not skinned in scale. We see that Septim's tribes will not be long satisfied with the thrones of men and the elder race. One day they will come to Black Marsh. Argonians have lost land once before, when we did not know our enemy.
I see, and what better place to learn the wants of men than at the bar?
There are other places, universities, the military, the magical guild, but I aim to chart man's geography of desire, which is most readily charted when he is drunk and blathering.
Wars have never been good to a city.
Especially not this one. First, a tour and the crown defeat the forebears, then the Empire comes rolling in. It's too much for these walls to handle.
I can only assume you are a crown.
That I am, though not as passionate as many others. I'm glad the war's over, really. Life goes on, and times change. I'll try to keep our sweet city as fair as she can be.
You sound as though you bear no grudge to the forebears or the Empire for that matter.
The forebears claim to be the earliest descendants from Hammerfell, while the crowns trace their lineage to the first rulers. It's been that way for generations, and Tiber's Septim tries, where many have failed, to unite the world of Tamriel.
Hello, brother. I'm Cyrus, recent to this shore.
Brother Niddle, good son, welcome to the Temple of Arcade.
How is Stros M'kai these days, Brother Niddle?
You should be able to see it just from the faces on the streets, my boy. But then again, there aren't that many faces out there anymore. Things have become quiet since the occupation.
I have seen the Empire expanding into all of Tamriel in my travels. Why is the occupation of Stros M'kai full of more bloodshed than most?
You have only your Redguard blood to answer that, my boy. When has Hammerfell ever suffered foreign rule? The civil war was bloody, to be sure, but when the forebears allied with the Empire, the crowns felt they had been betrayed by their own kind. They were prepared to fight to the last man. And the Empire sent Admiral Richten to make sure they did.
Heard of you. Must be new around here. My name's Fatus. Everybody just calls me Fatus, though.
How do things stand in Stros M'kai under Imperial occupation?
As bad as they can be. Looks peaceful now, doesn't it? The peace of the grave, it is. Most of the younger folk dead or run off. In the old days, this was the bustling south heart of Hammerfell. Harbor jammed with shipping, sailors from all over walking the street. What you see now is the ghost of the old Stros M'kai. Dead, but it just don't know it yet.
Good day.
Hello, shopkeeper. My name is Cyrus.
Pleased to meet you, my good fellow. Garrick, your humble servant.
How's business these days?
If it's not pirates stealing your cargo, it's Imperial taxes. I get by, though.
The Empire crushed the Restless League?
I assume so. They haven't been seen around Stros M'kai for months. The League pretended to be patriotic rebels after the Crown's defeat, but a few encounters with Imperial warships quieted them down right quick.
Thanks for the time, Garrick.
Purnell, by the way. Ask away, my boy.
How does the city fare with the Imperials in charge?
I got nothing to tell that you can't hear from anyone in town. This was the heart of Crown resistance. But look at it now. When you lock up or murder every Crown or League supporter, you don't leave much.
Cartographer, can I help you?
What are people talking about around town these days?
Damning the governor's eyes, mainly. I try not to get involved in all those troubles. I've seen more than enough suffering in my life. I just want to spend my last days working with my maps.
Is life under the Imperial governor so harsh?
I said I didn't want to speak of such things.
Could I have a word with you?
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
How are things in town with the Imperials in charge?
What do I look like? The town crier? Same old as far as Rollo's concerned. Politics is for suckers. I got a sweet deal with Garrick. No need for me to worry about who's sitting in the palace.
Has the coming of the Empire given you much concern?
This one is neither not unwary of the Empire, nor eager to wear the leash, but the Governor has proven himself an honorable man. Thus this one offers him this gift to encourage his attention to the affairs of the living, leaving the rest.
Why are you still preying on Stros M'kai?
My, how glibly you parrot Imperial propaganda. Perhaps an ignorant tourist like you wouldn't notice that we touch only the Empire's and Richten's ships. The excitable shipholders and Imperial fellow travelers raise a hue and cry against plunder and piracy, but the people of Stros M'kai know the real targets of our activity.
So you lead this band?
If you say so.
So you plan to take on the Empire?
Tor did that already and died for it. The Empire won't suffer us to live against her, or a history written without her name. So there's no point to resist, so overtly.
How very restless of you.
Let me cut this smartass.
I'm not suggesting the League greet the Empire with open arms. I propose we greet them with secret arms, with subtle stings, with blood and corn spilt in stealth. Sublunar threat. Our purpose is to hint ever so politely that there is no profit in Hammerfell, and no prospect of profit. When the Empire despairs of getting rich in Stros M'kai, she'll turn her hand to more profitable enterprises.